Have you outgrown your tiny dirt starter home and you're ready for an equally tiny but more upscale upgrade? We'll be inspired by this real blueprint for a cozy cottage. This build has one bedroom and one bathroom on just one floor with 504 square feet of living space. But check out those vaulted ceilings and that spacious entry porch. Imagine making this tiny chic build your next blocky home. Hey y'all, I'm the Southern Ma'am, but all my friends call me Tasoma. Welcome to another episode of Blocky Blueprints, where we find an IRL blueprint and then build it in Minecraft. First, we'll build it as close to the original blueprint as possible, but then we'll customize it and furnish it and show it off in a realtor-style open house. Today's blueprint comes from the website architecturaldesigns.com, and I'll put a link in the description for y'all. Let's get to building. First things first, let's find a suitable location for our build. Looking in the background of the blueprint, it seems to me like a mixed forest. There's even a birch tree prominently in the foreground. So let's look around for a nice spot in this forest in which to build our tiny, cozy cottage. This forest location really is ideal for our build. Looking at it from above, we can see that it's almost entirely surrounded by a river, making it almost like its own little island. In addition, it's fairly flat, so we're not going to have to do a lot of terraforming to find a really good construction site to start our cozy cottage. You can see by that dirt that's just now starting to turn to grass that we've just finished the clearing of the forest and a little bit of terraforming. This gives us a nice flat construction site for our build. Now in the blueprints, the tiny house was about 13 feet by 38 feet, counting the front porch. So you can see by these wool blocks that I've made it about 15 by 40, roughly that same size, to give us a little bit of space to build. I like to clear a little extra all the way around just to give myself some building space, and then we can add back the terraforming and the forest closer to the house depending on how we like it at the end of the build. Let's continue to use pink and lime wool to lay out the wireframe for the entire house. Pro building tip: count twice, build once. Otherwise, you may be tearing down and rebuilding. Thankfully, we discovered this error during the wireframe stage, so our mistake wasn't that costly in terms of either time or resources. Let's step back, or rather fly over, and compare this wireframe to our original IRL blueprint. The lime wool represents the rough placement of windows and doors, while the pink wool represents the walls. To determine the palette for the exterior of our build, I lined up a lot of the green blocks in the game just to kind of see our choices laid out. Now, in the blueprint photo, there were vertical siding stripes, and I don't think we're going to be able to find that texture and color matching together for our choices. So there are some vertical lines in a few blocks, but these colors just don't really match the build very well. So I don't think we're going to be able to keep that siding lined texture, or we're going to end up losing that in our build. Another issue we have is that none of these green blocks have smaller options. We have no slabs, stairs, walls, anything in any of these green blocks, which I found surprising. I'm really looking forward to some concrete or terracotta stairs and slabs in the future. So we're going to be limited to full blocks on all of our exterior with any of these choices. Now, I don't think any of them are quite perfect, so I'm going to defer to finding, I think, the one that looks best with our other color choices. there's a lot of oranges in the build as well in the photograph. So I think the acacia will work well for that. There's some rock accents, and I think sandstone has that rocky texture. And there are some shingles that I think the jungle wood will mimic nicely. I want our green siding to look good with these other accent colors. And in my opinion, I think this lime terracotta is probably our best choice. It's a little muted, so it's not a super bold green for our siding. It looks nice with the jungle and acacia next to it. And so I think we're going to try building our exterior in lime terracotta along with the acacia, jungle, and sandstone accents. Our roof currently has a split personality. Take a look at the blueprint photo. In the blueprint, the roof is very light colored, almost a white or a light gray. It doesn't really match the other blocks in our build. So I've tried to mimic that look with sandstone, just like the foundation. So on this side of the roof, I've used those lighter colored stairs and slabs to mimic the light roof from our blueprint photograph. However, as another option, I tried using the acacia stairs and slabs to show the same colors as these beams and the porch. So, which is it? Which one should we build this house in? Honestly, I think I'm partial to the acacia. So, acacia has it. Our exterior is basically complete, at least a first pass. We may do some edits toward the end when we do the terraforming. We may also make a few more adjustments on the exterior, but the basic outline is finished. If we compare it to our blueprint photo, we have that sandstone foundation, the lime terracotta for the walls, and those acacia and junglewood accents. Of course, our roof is a little different. We have that acacia roof, but all in all, it's a really good comparison to our blueprint photograph. Now, I have made a few changes already. I love natural lighting. So as we look at some of the windows, they were much smaller. There was one window on this side, and there was a window on the back, and one on the other side. So very few windows. Look at these big expanses of walls with no windows. I made these larger than the original plans would suggest, and we may add some more windows as we go along. I love natural lighting, and so it just seems to me like we need a few more windows in this place, but we'll see as we do our interior. If we go inside, we have just some white wool and pink wool to designate floors and walls, and this is our pantry and our kitchen, a laundry room, bathroom, and then a bedroom. So we have the bare outline of the build completed, and now it's time to furnish this interior. So let's do a little design work and we'll come back with a finished build. Wait, why do I hear fire? Ah! Okay, I think the lava has caused a problem. Okay, well, looks like we need to do some home repairs. Oh no, there's more! Oh goodness. Ah! Why is this on fire? All right, learning lesson. Apparently, lava can spread at least 2 blocks diagonally to flammable blocks. So I think we're going to put a chimney here so that we can encase it a little better in stone. Lesson learned. The exterior is finished, and I thought I'd do a little fly around to show how it's both similar and different to our original blueprint. First, I put a couple birch trees here in the front. If you see in the blueprint photo, there's a really skinny, tall birch tree right here near the front of the house and another one on the other side. So I put a couple of those in to mimic the birch trees in our original photograph. I also put a lot of foliage here. There were red and blue flowers, both fairly tall, especially the blue ones. And this was about the closest thing we had to a blue double tall flower in Minecraft. So I'm happy with how the landscaping turned out with the floral arrangements. Also, if you notice very closely, the yard was manicured where the lawn is mowed in the opposite directions. And so we've manicured the lawn just up here closest to the house as well. Now, I did keep just the same window on the side, but I had to add this chimney. This is to hide our lava cauldron because, as we discovered, the fire tick on is a problem. So we had to put a chimney in to be able to keep our lava. On the back, we still kept this large window, but our addition was the window on this side. I knew I would need more natural lighting, so I did add a second window on this side. So there is just one more window than the original blueprint photo showed. Let's do a proper realtor-style tour. As you approach this cozy cottage construction, notice the manicured lawn, the detailed landscaping, and plenty of florals to accentuate the beauty of the property. Step right up to the front porch where you can have a seat and enjoy all of nature around you. Step into the kitchen with all the necessary amenities: sink, range, refrigerator, and plenty of cabinet space. There's even a pantry tucked into the corner, so that you'll have plenty of space to store all those kitchen necessities. Sit for a spell and enjoy the natural lighting streaming into your cozy seating area. Head down the hallway and your first stop will be the fully furnished repair room with anvil, grindstone, crafting table, chests for storage, everything you need to keep your armor and tools in ship shape. Next, enter the bathroom. There's hot and cold liquid dispensers, as well as waste disposal. Finally, the master suite has everything you'll need for both work and relaxing. There's a desk with plenty of space for all your books to record all the tales of your adventures. There's a hobby station. Here, it's furnished with a loom and all the supplies for banner making, but you could customize this for your own favorite hobby. In the corner, a small storage area for all your important goods. And finally, a cozy bed to rest and get those much-needed Z's after a long day's work. Well, what did you think? This build really challenged me to build small, but with big style. I hope this build has inspired you and that you'll join me again in the next episode of Blocky Blueprints. Good Lord willing and the sun still shines, I'll see you again in the next video. Thank you kindly for watching and bless your heart.